Hi, my friend Rick told me something really cool. Now, I've heard this in a lot of different settings, but here's a setting where it applies to what we're up to, which is the word of the day and learning to trust yourself. The phrase is that we are in this world, but not of it. And this is often used as a spiritual thing to mean that we're, physical, spiritual beings having a physical experience. My father used to always use it because he was in the music business and he was very successful, but he was a very private spiritual person, and he would say, I'm in it, but I'm not of it. And one of the things that I really appreciate about him and also about Rick is that these are both men who they live the life of the mind. So they do all the things that they need to do as people, but then they have this private life. In Rick's case, he is a passionate fan of music. In my father's case, my father was a passionate fan of everything. And what I remember, we'll be visiting him in his study, which unfortunately is exactly what my apartment looks like now. And basically, there would be books. And one day he'd be reading Schopenhauer, and another day he'd be reading Patterson, and another day he'd be reading a graphic novel, and another day he'd be reading a bio of James Brown. And he was a remarkable man. And Rick is also, when I stay over with them, I get Bach, I get Milt Jackson, I get the latest Peter Gabriel album, I get the occasional Requiem. And I want to share that there is another way to be about your life that you can cultivate, which is that you have this private life of your mind, that you have an interest that you don't necessarily share, not in the sense that you don't share it, but it's your interest, it's your thing, it's only yours. And with all due respect to sports, it's not sports. It's a intellectual idea that captivates you and interests you, which can be football. I have no problem with that. Football fanatics are my favorite people. But what I'm trying to say to everybody here is that one thing that is often missing in this mistaken quest for self-esteem instead of self-acceptance is, again, because self-esteem is all about the reputation. You don't think to yourself, what would I enjoy doing? You think, well, what should I be doing? What's appropriate? I teach English, so I should read books. Why? Why should you, in your private time, that is your real time with yourself, do anything other than what you really want to do? However strange or seemingly incomprehensible to other people it may be. So again, I invite you to use this practice of the word of the day to explore sort of these slightly more eccentric sides to you and see what it is that you really would like to be doing if there was no one there commenting either in your head or out, and if you yourself were willing to accept that you wanted to just do something because you wanted to do it. So if you find this interesting, come follow me, join us on a webinar, and start doing the word of the day. I'll see you on the next video.